but down through the S's for the first time. Mackenzie's been tagged by one of the ART cars. There's absolute chaos. VSC has now been deployed. Mackenzie's out. We've been hit. What on earth is going on here? Hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new league racing video here today. We're back once again for the Transnation eSports F2 series here today at USA. Not too sure how this is going to go, to be honest. F2 cars around Coda is going to be interesting to say the least. I was actually somewhat prepared for this race, as I decided the night before that it was probably a good idea to not stay up till midnight, and I think I could probably sit here and say that did pay off a little bit. I was actually awake when we did this race, which there's a rumour going around that does help. But anyway, I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything I need to talk about, so we'll head over to quali now for the USGP. Obviously, championship picture. Not looking too great after Mexico, which I think was last week. Race 1 went okay. Got taken out in race 2 by, I can't remember who that was. Might have been 5-Shot Ryan or something like that, but rear-ended me in the final corner and sent me clean into the wall, so yeah, that didn't exactly go to plan. But anyway, I'd actually done a bit of practice for this, so hopefully it can go well. But on for one-shot qualifying now. Again, the F2 cars around here, I'm not going to lie, these weren't real fun to drive. They were really awkward, they felt really heavy, and yeah, you just have to like really slow the cars down, and I did not like the way these felt at all, to be honest. But purple in sector 1. We'll have a quick look on the steering wheel on the back straight just to see if we are actually P1 or if we are down the field a little bit. Decent line through the hairpin. Lap's been pretty decent so far, and we are P1 at the moment. So first half of the lap has been pretty good. Might have been a little room for improvement through the S's, but I still feel like it was pretty decent. Down the end of the back straight now. Easy to actually invalidate there, believe it or not, on a one-shot qualifying lap. We got away with it that time, but through this very tricky double right, then real sharp left, very easy to lock the left front up there, as you can see, which I did. Something that I did almost every lap of both races as well, because it's just so awkward to get the car slowed down. But anyway, through the final 2 corners now, penultimate corner. A little bit wide there, but we don't invalidate. Through the final corner now, I think we might go pole, let's see. And we do, with a 146 flat, we go P1 here at USA. Let's just have a look at the finishing order. So we take pole position, our good mate plus championship rival, Macca, starts right alongside us, P2. Almost got pole position, but not quite. His teammate Addy in P3, also my teammate Sunday morning. Then you got Harry P4, Matty P5, Brett, and yeah, everybody else running out the field. Worth noting, excuse me, worth noting that when race 2 comes around, well, let's just say it's an interesting end to the race. You got to watch out for the South African, which is, I don't even know where he is. I think he might be down in 7th or 8th or something. For the start of this race, so we don't have to worry about any of those guys for the moment. But championship picture, I think it's about 29 points or something that Mackenzie has over us at the moment, so we definitely need to try and beat him here in these 2 races to bring that gap back down to try and keep our title hopes alive. Worth noting as well, obviously, only one of us can win the title. Mainly just because of how the season started, and we've gradually gotten more numbers as the season's gone on. It was basically between me and Mackenzie from basically midpoint of the season, to be honest. We've just kept extending the gap that we have over the rest of the field, which is already absolutely huge, by the way. So it's either going to be Prema or uni that are going to take home the championship. We'll do everything we can to try and make sure that we can bring it home, but Mackenzie, he's pretty good in these F2 cars. He has his off days, but in saying that, so does everyone. But anyway, we get 4 points for pole position, so that's a bit of a gain on him already, so I think that should bring it back down to 25. Again, don't quote me on that, it might be 32 or 37 or I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. But anyway, reforming back on the grid now for race 1 here at USA.
Start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed.
Just wait for everybody else to reform it back up, and we should be good to go. Waiting for the final people to load up. Alright, and here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Looks like a pretty decent launch. Trying to get over to cover Macca if we can. But we don't have to. We've actually gotten a very good launch there. Then into turn 1 as Macca goes for a look up the inside. Felt like I actually got a hit there, to be honest. Definitely wasn't from him, as we were quite a few of us in the same party and he was nowhere near me, so I don't know what happened, but yeah, felt like I got a hit there as we run up to turn 1, but we maintain the lead anyway, coming through the S's now. Yellow flags back there. I think somebody may have spun out, might be one of the MP cars, I'm not too sure, but we maintain P1 for the moment, but we get very sideways out of that left-hander. Will Macca try and look for a move in left-in? Yes, he does. He goes for an almighty send. Does the Prima, but unfortunately can't quite get the power down on the exit there, and we maintain the lead for the moment. He's got his teammate Addy right behind him as well. Now, worth noting, Addy's on super softs as well. The rest of us are on medium, so I was actually a little bit surprised that Addy didn't get the jump on either one of us at the start. I think Mackenzie has held his teammate out a little bit there, as I think Addy run off the road a bit there. But anyway, we've got about half a second gap at the moment, but as you can see right there, one little mistake. Well, it wasn't even really a mistake, like that's the normal line I take, but we just locked up and I was kind of held up high for a little bit longer, and that almost allowed Mackenzie to actually get underneath us. So yeah, that just proves how costly mistakes can be. Speaking of mistakes, Mackenzie completely misses the penultimate corner there, goes way off the circuit. So we're all struggling a little bit just to come to grips with these medium tyres. Like we were saying, the grip on the super softs was bad enough, but when we put mediums on, it did not feel nice. But anyway, there's our first warning for exceeding track limits, so we better be a good boy for the rest of the race and try not to rack up those penalties if we can help it. But yeah, as you can see already, Addy is just about sticking with us too, but then you got to go back quite a way to find, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's Harry back in P4. Could be wrong, but yeah, we've absolutely gapped the field at the moment. Cutting on to lap 6 onto the back straight. Addy has just dropped off us top 2 ever so slightly now, as there's an ART getting out of the way, being put a lap down. I think he was actually reserved for this race, so definitely not having the best of races. But anyway, coming on to lap 10 now. Addy peeled in at the end of lap 6 to put mediums on, so it'd be interesting to see where he pops out. But for us two at the front, not really a lot going on, to be honest. On this lap in particular, I think Mackenzie actually made quite a big mistake out of the S's. Allowed me to get quite a good gap over him. I think it was about just over 2 seconds. So into the pits we come now. He follows me in as I expected, and it's going to be about 5-6 lap sprint to the end on super softs. These pit stops in the F2 cars are quite slow as well. 4.6 seconds. Well, I say they're slow. I mean, considering you've only got one guy on each tyre, it's probably pretty good actually. But anyway, leaving the pits now. Robin continues on on the medium tyres, and I think here comes Joe up into turn 1. I think we're actually just going to hang on to effective P2, but Joe has now split me and Mackenzie, so this is going to make my job a hell of a lot easier, knowing that we've got quite a big buffer to the Prema now. Speaking of Prema, Addy still remains in P3 with a pretty healthy margin to everybody around him from what I can see. He was no threat for myself or Mackenzie, but I think he had everybody else comfortably covered as well. But
That was the fastest lap
anyway,
of the race
fastest lap of the races, we begin lap 13, 47.9. Wanted to try and take home the point for fastest lap as well, obviously trying to bring that gap down to Macca in the title fight. But cutting on to the final lap of the race now. So far, so good. Pole position, so we get 4 points for that. And in a few moments, we are going to come around to the final corner to win race 1 here at USA through the final corner. And it's going to be, I don't want to say a commanding victory, but a great race nonetheless. We win race 1 here at USA with the fastest lap as well. Pretty good race, that. Alright, so there we go guys. Feature race W here at USA. 27 points in the bag. Mackenzie comes home P2. So we only close in, 13 points at the moment. So good start, but we've still got the sprint race to go through at the moment. Reverse grid for the top 8 as well. So as you can see, P7 and P8 for the championship contenders respectively. Not going to lie, I expected chaos in this sprint race, to be honest. The reverse grid race normally is. And when I say chaos, well, you'll see what I mean come the end of the race. But anyway, reforming back on the grid now, and let's get ready to get this sprint race underway.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Alright, cheers for that, boss. I think I've done this enough times that I know what to do now, but here we go for the sprint race. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go here for race number 2. Looks like a pretty decent launch. We're going to get up the inside of Mackenzie into turn 1. Are we going to look for a move on his teammate as well? No, I decide against it. Through turn 1, looks like we've all got through okay. No, we've got a hit from Addy there. I think he actually touched the rear of, I think that might have been Speedy there, I'm not too sure. But down through the S's for the first time, Mackenzie's been tagged by one of the ART cars. There's absolute chaos. VSC has now been deployed. Mackenzie's out. We've been hit. What on earth is going on here? Oh my god. Okay, hang on. We just need to take a breath for a minute and actually look at what the hell has just gone on. So, Mackenzie's out of the race. He, no pun intended, got annihilated by the Annihilator. So, how terribly ironic. We were actually making jokes about that before the race, and turns out that somebody did get annihilated. So, yeah, there's a funny or terrible joke for you. But anyway, VSC finally ends after damn near a full lap, but Matty completely gets that wrong, and now we've got even more damage on the front wing. We get a warning for a collision as well, and oh my god, this sprint race is just going from bad to bad to bloody worse. But yeah, this is not going good. Obviously with Mackenzie out, it means that no matter what happens to us or where we finish, he's not exactly going to gain any points back on us. but at the same time, this is really not what I wanted, because I'm still not sure what happened there at that VSS. Hold on a moment, I think we've got Addy here has made a mistake in the Prema, so both Premas having a rubbish second race by the looks of it. I'm going to go out on a limb saying he might have dropped it out of the turn 1, but anyway, that's a free spot for us, so back up into P8. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm not too sure what happened there at that VSC. I think from what I remember in the party, it was actually Brett who was totally out of control. I think like about half the field was, to be honest. And he slid back on track and T-boned me in the right hand side pod. As now Mason has retired over to the left side, he's binned it out of the hairpin. VSC emerges for the second time in 3 laps. So I did say that this second race was going to be full of action and chaos, and 3 laps in we've already had 2 VSCs, we've had like 3 or 4 retirements. So yeah, the reverse grid races don't fail to disappoint, but yeah, this is certainly not where I wanted to be. But anyway, continuing on for the moment. Now I won't go into a great amount of detail, but all I'm going to say at the moment is that South African, can't remember his name off the top of my head, but at this stage he was starting to head up towards the front of the field a little bit, as we get a little tap from Ken in the left rear there, as Addy overtakes us, so back down to P8. But he makes his way up to the fight for the front, and well, I won't go into a lot of detail, but I'll talk about it more when it happens. But anyway, coming on to lap 5, Addy got past Maddie, and now we have caught up to him, and we're going to go up the inside into left-hander, but we've gone deep. Didn't shift down into first gear there for some reason as well. I don't know what that was, to be honest. I thought I pressed the pedal for it to downshift. Obviously I didn't, because nothing happened. But anyway, he gets a bad run out of the final corner. Darius on the front straight now. We're going to go up the inside into turn 1 for P7. We should get this done. Up the inside, he's still there on the outside, but we squeeze him out, and there we go, up to P7. As Ken will probably look to try and make a move as well. But this is where things really got ugly, and to be honest, I actually really don't want to talk about this, but it's kind of hard not to, because it really affects the race. Ken spins out of the hairpin, but look what's happened at the end of the back straight. Bubba Two-Way has retired. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail, as Ken has retired there as well, but you can see there is his stricken Dams car, and there is Robin. Now, Robin was leading the race. Robin was on to win the sprint race. Now, for whatever reason, and I don't know why on earth he would try anything like this, he was running in third as we got to the end of the back straight, and he just basically straight line Robin and took him out. That's all there is to say on the matter. So yeah, he's got nothing to say to defend himself there. That is absolutely despicable to do something like that. But I suppose on the upside for us, we're going to come across the line for P5, I think P6 on penalties, but man, that's really not what you want to see. Alright, so there we go guys, that has been today's video, Transnation Esports F2 series for the USGP. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. I don't know what to say about how that second race ended, to be honest. That was just an absolute joke. Heart goes out to Robin, to be honest, because he deserved that win, and he's just been taken out for no reason. But anyway, until next time, hope everybody is well, and yeah, that's it from me, so I'll see you all later.